We were thinking of use an agency for organize our itinerary for South Korea and China.
But we were thinking that we can handle it ourselves. So, you know what?
Let's do it our way!
So now we're gonna speak why is it important to set priorities and creating an itinerary. So guys, let's be clear with each other. Having an itinerary is really important because it's gonna be our base where we can build up all the activities and whatever you want to do from it. So it's really important mostly because if you have an itinerary, you will know already what you have to do. You don't have to pay extra money for doing some activities that you could have saved some if you would have booked them in advance. And you will see way more things simply because you already know what you have to do in the right order. You are not gonna move around looking for the best way to do it, looking for the right connection, because you will already know them all in advance. And it's not something that you must follow it 100%. Even most of the time when we were in Japan, we made a itinerary that was nearly hour by hour. But when we went up there, we skipped most of the things because we found out that we weren't really interested about them. But it was always useful because we already know what we wanted to do and where it was. So I will really recommend it. Plan your itinerary beforehand so you know what you have to do. It sounds pretty annoying, but trust me, it's really, really important.
Yeah, now we're gonna set all the priorities. For example, we're gonna talk about the budget, how much you wanna spend for this trip. Or for example, we can talk about, do you want to relax for this trip or do you want to go a non-stop exploration trip? Or you can focus about what you want really see in your trip. Now we are going to creating an itinerary together. Now start from what you really want to see. For example, we was talking about some days ago about the Furong waterfall or the Grand Theater in Chongqing or Chengdu.
I think it was Chongqing.
Yeah, it was amazing, so probably we're gonna spend some time to visit these two places.
Yeah, so start from your maths.
Yeah.
They're really important.
Yes.
And when you find out your must, that is something that you already know more or less if you want to go in a foreign country. Or if you don't know them, just look on the main cities in that country and see what you would like to see and start from them. So you start looking on Google or ChatGPT or whatever you want to use. What are the main attractions or what it's mostly famous, the country or a city that you want to visit. And after you find out all of your musts, that are things that you really want to see, start writing them down. And my recommendation is to start putting them on, I use Google Maps, but you can use Apple Maps or whatever maps you like. Mostly so you can start creating a small itinerary. You start creating connection between all the activities or itinerary points that you want to see. And you will start see that some of them you have to discharge them because they're not really possible to see them, and you will see that other you can connect them really easily because they're really close to each other. And from that points you will start creating your itinerary. Because for example, we print a map, we write it down all the city we wanna really see. We was thinking to start from Beijing, but if you can see the map, Beijing is very far away. To cover your face so the camera can...
Cuckoo! But Beijing is very far away from Chongqing, Chengdu, Nanchang and Shanghai. Like we forgot Beijing for this trip.
We have to delete it basically.
And we chose this line for the moment. So I think sometimes you have to sacrifice some place. So shows your priority. If you wanna take the train and stay 5, 6, 7 hours on a train, and for you it's not so heavy and you wanna spend your time like this, is no problem, it's your choice. But I think the best solution is take like shows town very close from
each other.
Yeah, I think.
Or if you have a really long trip, like it happens to us from Chongqing till Shanghai, just look a big city or a city that you can be interested to visit that is between them, and sacrifice a day from one of the cities. So you will see one more city, and you will have maybe 4-hour trip and 2-hour, 3-hour trip by train, and it's gonna be way more relaxing for yourself.
Yes.
Or you can take an overnight train, but it's gonna be always longer. So we will always recommend to look for a smaller city that you can be still interested.
Or maybe more, because sometimes we are looking only at big city, but if you gonna think about it, small cities sometimes are the unique and antique one, and sometimes are the best one. So you can discover it as well, some place where you can see like the really China or the really Spain or wherever, every place you wanna
visit.
Yes, exactly.
Now we are gonna look for activities, and we're gonna share some of our tricks to find them. Now that you have your cities and you have a more or less a little itinerary of where you want to go and the city that you want to visit, you have to start to look for activities. Most of them maybe you already noted down because it was the reason why you went to the cities. But if you plan to stay for days in a city, you will probably need to do something else out of your musts. So I'm gonna recommend you to use Google Maps, because every time you will see a city from Google Maps, will show you the top spot, the most touristic one. Most of them are really nice for that they are touristic. And if you're into them, you're free to see them, and it's way more easier to find them and even to see how much far they are from where you would probably get an hotel. And now we are in 2026, ChatGPT is really advanced.
Yes.
Sadly, or in a good way, it's really advanced. So if you speak with him and ask him what you really would like to see, for example, we mostly look for flea markets or thrift shop. If you ask to ChatGPT, it will help you finding them, or even showing you where you can find them if it's not in that city, really close by. So I will recommend you to use these two, Google Maps and ChatGPT.
And our trick is use Facebook group. It's very helpful, and you can think about Facebook is absolutely like
for boomers.
Yeah, and useful. But if you go out Italy, or maybe I don't know if in England they use it or not.
No, mostly Poland use it a lot, I think.
And in Norway as well. A lot of people use it. So, for example, in Facebook group you can find a native person from China or every country, and you can ask with them some suggestions, some recommendation for where you can go, or if they have some place where you can eat.
Or hidden spots too.
Yeah, you can eat, for example, a very like local food or something like that, street market or wherever. You can find everything on Facebook. You need only find the right people.
And most of them, they're always super nice.
Yeah.
Most of the group, they are always called in the same way that you will look for them. For example, for China, we are in 2 or 3 groups that all of them are called like visiting China or recommendation for China. You just have to subscribe yourself in a group, and you can ask your question or read the question of other people to find out already the answer that maybe you're already looking for. It's really helpful, and it will get you directly in touch with native people. That is not so easy out of Facebook groups.
Yeah, exactly. For example, for Japan, we was looking for some activities for a couple, if we're gonna say it like this, and we find out this Smith. This guy was amazing. This guy was very, like, it was a little bit weird, but it was...
I was crazy more than weird.
It was so funny, and we make by ourselves, I don't know if you can see it, this ring for us. We make it by hand, step by step. Kim was show to us.
Yeah, he was explaining us the steps that we had to do, because we started from a small silver bar.
Yes.
That we had to heat it up and literally hit it with a small hammer to give it this shape.
Yeah, and it was way cheap than what we expected.
It was way cheaper than a shop.
And as well, we have how we can call it?
Bracelet.
Like bracelet, and him give for free to us as well, because it was the first thing we was using for show us how to model or make.
Yeah, we started from a small bar. It was not steel, some cheap material to showing us how to eat it and how to making cheese inside of it, because we even wrote something inside the ring. And after that we passed to the silver one, and they gifted us the example for free from us. It was really a nice guy.
Yes.
He was looked like Johnny Depp when he was a pirate in Pirate of Caribbean.
Yes.
It was way crazy guy, but it was super nice.
It was amazing. Yes.
And it was something that it was out of the common, because it was literally inside this basically garage, and it was a completely mess.
Yes,
it was super nice.
Yes. So we are very happy about. We suggest you to take a look in Facebook. Yes.
Yeah, use Facebook.
Yes.
It's really helpful. Facebook!
Guys, according to my paper, I forgot to say something. So, usually when I'm alone and I'm bored about, I don't know, the life, usually I open the map on Google and I start to click randomly all the maps close to where I want to go. For example, in China, I open the map and I chose Chongqing. I open it and I start to point somewhere, and I swear every time I find something. Small city, you never heard something about it, but it's nice, or I don't know, some hotels or restaurant. But guys, remember always to check the reviews, because sometimes you can only check the stars and you can see 5 stars, and after you open the comment and it's crazy. So remember to every time check all the comments, because sometimes can be a scam. Only this. Now that we have everything ready, let's write it down.
Now that you have all the activities that you want to do, all the city that you have to visit, and all of your maps are followed in your itinerary, keep updating it every time you find something that you really want to see or that you can add in your trip. It doesn't really have something that you have to see, but if something happens meanwhile you will be there, for example, it will start raining and you were planning a trekking, you will have something else to do. Most of the time you will end up that you are not gonna use it, but if you keep updating it, if something happens, cross the thing that never happened, but you never know in life, you will have your ass covered. It's really nice, trust me. So you will not be stressed if something that you want to do, you're not gonna be able to do it, because you say, oh, I cannot do the trekking. I don't care, I can go to see the flea markets that are in the buildings, I can go see something else that are already planned. Trust me, it's gonna be super useful and super nice.
Yes. So, in the next video, we will explain how to book flights, hotel, and much more. So, thank you for watching the video. If you want, you can leave a like. You can write if you are planning some trip or you are organized something somewhere.
Let us know in the comments where is your next destination.
Exactly.
And leave a heart. Stavo cadendo. In the comments.
So, thank you.
And see you next Thursday. Or good morning if you're just awake.
Tak tak. Ciao.
Ciao.